not to downgrade it like you're saying, it's a great thing, but it's easy to just fall back on the home ownership aspect and eliminate all these other things. Because when I see the Forbes list, it's rarely because they bought a house.
Right. They might own real estate and
They own
portfolios of
real
apartments and
estate, but
commercial real estate.
yeah, but it's real estate. It's a multiple doors. These giants, um, have apartment buildings. So they got like 40, 50 doors. And what we mean by doors that, that's a family. One door equals a family that's paying you for their living expenses, for their living situation. And so that could be a duplex. That could be a duplex would be two doors. That could be a small building. That could be multiple rental homes. Something I always preach and a lot of people don't think about. Warren Buffett, he invests in just mobile homes.
Mhm.
Mobile homes, like if you're not from the country, you're not very familiar with that. But trailers, mobile homes are great investments because they're low entry points, but the model is the same. You just need
Yep.
land. So instead of investing in, you know, these brick homes, you're investing in land to be able to place these mobile homes. And every state has different laws about what land can be used for that and things like that. But man, you could buy for the price of one home right now. You could probably buy. I mean, mobile homes went up too, but you could probably buy, 4 or 5 mobile homes. So now you got 5 doors versus that one door. And you got people, and you could charge depending on the area. If it's a mobile home, you're not gonna be charged $2,000 a month, right? Because
Right.
mobile home area, so it's probably low income areas. But are you charging $600-700 a month for a single, maybe a 2 bedroom, 1 bath or something like that, and you pay probably 50,000 for the mobile home. There was a time you could get it for like 19, 20, 30,000. But inflation and stuff like that. So it's probably like 40 or 50,000. It's like buying a car.
Mhm.
Property tax on it is very low. So, but it's not sexy, right? I own 10 mobile homes. That's not a sexy. It's not culturally appealing. Like I got 10 houses in Dallas metro area. What is your thoughts on, this whole one door versus multiple doors? Kind of the thing that Grant Cardone pushes online, and but I understand it.
I think again it goes to goals, right? So I want to speak first to there's a huge segment of people they don't care about that, right? And I used to care that they didn't care about that. You know what I mean? Because my mind is like, and we've talked about it a bunch, entrepreneurial and stuff like that. A lot of people don't care about that. And we have to be okay with that, right? They
Mm.
don't care about multiple doors. They just want to buy a home. They, like you talked about, you painted that picture that we always utilize, the verbiage of the white picket fence or whatever. But hey, they want the house. They want to be able to invite family and friends over. They got some emotional meanings, like reasons for it and like good stuff, right? For them, I would say, then I'm going to answer that question. For them, I would say responsibility means make sure you got, I personally would say no less than 3 months of living expenses tucked away. 6 is even better. A year is bulletproof, right? If it just before you even buy the home. You know what I'm saying? That's just my thing. Is that
Good advice.
realistic?
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's my perspective on that. So that's all I mean about responsibility. Like, don't get into a house if you don't even have any money saved, right? Um, for those who think buying a home is the tip top investment, I'm not going to say that it's not a good investment because it is, right? I'd be contrary to what I'm doing too. I'm a loan officer, right? So
Yeah.
I definitely believe in it, but there are better returns out there, um, and better ways to do it. So for me, speaking to somebody that has an entrepreneurial desire, I would definitely say multiple doors is always better than one. I think, and for me, like mobile homes, mobile parks, right? Those are huge. Um, Storage units, right?
Mm.
Those are huge as well. Buying apartment complexes, you may have to get a syndication to do it. If you got good connections or whatever, that's great. It's different ways to go about it, and maybe we can get some minds on here and kind of go into the nuances of that. But it's other stuff, but not just that. mom and pop businesses. There are more people that want to exit these businesses now that are selling them for 1 to 2 times earnings, right? That you can get into it and seller finance that bad boy, put a small percentage down and just say, look, I'm going to pay you over the next 3 years a certain percentage in income, which will be paying my portion of what you wanted, right? You can do stuff like that. And these businesses are getting way more than 3 or 5% appreciation each year, way more because they're selling for 1 to 2 times earnings, right? So you get a business for 50,000 that's selling for 50,000, you put a certain amount down on it. I mean, if it's paying, I mean, if it's actually getting 40,000 a year, I mean, you're making up your investment over a year and a half, two
Yeah.
years. So that's my thing is like there's so many different other ways to do it. But I will say this in closing. If I could go back, hindsight is 2020. Everybody's got it. We never get paid a nickel for it, right?
And the
But if I could
2020 is
go
so relevant. Go ahead.
right, but if I would have went ahead because I was about to buy a home. I was looking in the DeSoto area. I was going to buy a pretty sizable home. Things were different at that point, you know. Instead, I opted out and I put my money in two businesses that both went belly up.
Mm,
So now, vulnerable. Now I'm in a position where I'm having to deal with what happened with those businesses bellying up to the point that it's delaying me buying the home that I wanted to a few years ago. So I'm saying that to let people further tell people I'm all about home ownership, right?
mhm,
But you got to know what are your goals. Now, I'm not going to strain myself to do it. And quite candidly, I would probably invest in a business before I buy a home, even this next go round, right? Because
yeah.
I got some goals. But I just think it's all about the education, man, as you hit on. Get educated. If you're trying to buy a home, get with someone, and I'm not trying to plug me. So, I didn't even put my information out there, but get with someone who's going to be honest with you, who takes themselves, they take what they're doing very seriously and they consider themselves a consultant and they're going to be
Mhm.
honest with you, right? If that's something that you do want to do, but consider what's going on. Check yourself. See how much money you got saved. Do you carry a load of consumer debt, which the average American does right now? Consumer debt's at an all-time high. You probably shouldn't be buying a home right now because if you default on your credit cards, they're probably going to be coming at you anyway
What do you
just to
say
catch
about
it.
move? What do you say about moving out of a state? So what if you know, Dallas, maybe Dallas outpriced you. You moved here in 2017, 2018. You was wanting to buy a home. Now you got the job. Now you got the income. Now you got a little savings. But now, the home market has just left you, kind of in a sense. So, if home ownership is truly your dream, it's okay to just move. Like, I guess that's more of a personal thing. But just move to a state where they do got $200,000 homes because the process is the same no matter where you move, right? Like, for the most part, it may be some little nuances for each state, but for the most part, home financing is home financing. So,
I mean, people have been doing that for years, right? Searching for opportunities. People are leaving California I
oh,
mean, by the droves. I mean, that's just one example. People are leaving California, New York, New Jersey, where property taxes are much higher. Um, it happens all the time. So it's a common thing, is where I'll start. It's common. No one's being like a trailblazer if they do something like that. But I would just maybe put a few things in front of people to consider before they do that, right? Okay, if you're working remote, typically people are working remote when they do that. That's good. You also want to ask yourself, what are the odds if you're not working remote that where you're moving, you'll be able to find a gig in what you're doing that's comparable to pay you what you're getting paid right now? That's what a lot of people don't take into consideration because for let's say something close to home for us, Arkansas or Louisiana, you can go home and get more bang for your buck. You know what I mean? I can move back to Arkansas and get way more bang for my buck. I'm looking at these homes and I'm like, this is what people are complaining about?
even on a rental tip, even if you're just paying
Yeah.
for rent.
I'm like, this is what people are complaining about? So
Yeah.
so there's always an opportunity for that. But I mean, and I would be able to work regardless. But I'm saying some people, if they got a job that's allowing them to pay or to be able to acquire that home, if you lose that job, can that new area can you find what's the job market look like? What are
Yeah.
the odds of you being able to replenish that? So that'd be one of the biggest things that I would put out there for people, because I don't think a lot of people think about that, because you'd
And
probably
if
be
you
going
want to
to a smaller
sell in like
area.
10 years, is that an area that sells? I think you mentioned that before.
It's another question. Yeah.
Like, if you go to Little Rock, they don't sell homes
Not
rapidly
like here
like
in DFW.
not
No,
Dallas. Yeah.
no, the appreciation isn't nearly as high as it is here in Dallas. So that's another one too. Like, but if you don't plan on selling, I mean, it's a moot point,
Yeah.
I guess. But um, those are some things people need to consider for sure. For
Yeah.
sure.
Brother, I thank you for sharing your knowledge on the black dollar. We're giving a small piece of the pie to the people. You know, Harris walks. No, I'm playing.
Look at this guy. He done took it there. He done took it there.
but but no, because yeah, we could get into reparations. We could get into, like you said, the other avenues. So there's always rolling segments that we can do when it comes to the black dollar. But we have the power. It's never too late to make that correction. And so, no, I appreciate the information you provided, man. It even gives me something to think about. So.